What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of So What You Hear. I'm Jay,
I'm Craig.
Yeah.
and this week we have come down to our last two possible divisions to talk about.
Possible. Ain't no new divisions coming. These are the last two.
Yeah, the last two possible divisions. It could only be these divisions.
The best division, in my opinion.
No.
Now I'm being real facetious, but it's my division, so I'm very excited.
I was like, the fact that we're doing the AFC South, because I said two, and one of them is not the best.
Yeah, but one is actually
probably the worst division in football.
Yeah.
That'll be next week.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry we're ending on that one, but hey,
we get to talk about Kirk Cousins. Anyway, staying this week. In the AFC South, they did look like last year they went from an embarrassment to the league to damn, I think every team's at least decent.
Yeah,
Well, after this offseason, they have definitely made.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I think
they
every
all
team is
did
good
the
now.
work.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. The first team we're talking about is good old Jacksonville Jaguars.
Go Pride.
Yeah,
Or
no,
is that Carolina? That might be Carolina's slogan.
I don't know what Carolina's slogan
I
is.
can't remember. It's one of the ones with the cat.
They
Pride, or rawr.
I mean, I guess
but
don't do that.
what's
That's like Caleb Williams.
pain nails.
pain and nails.
Pain
Jeffrey
nails.
Simmons just said it.
Yep.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But staying in Jacksonville, they've added some stuff.
They did. They definitely losing Calvin Ridley. I think they got rid of Zay Jones.
Yeah.
But they still got. But they went out and got Brian Thomas in the draft.
Yeah.
They picked up Gabe Davis, Devin Duvernay.
A lot of workhorses.
Yeah, they also got Darnell Savage, Mitch Morse, Arik Armstead, and Joey Sly. They signed the pieces they needed. Got what they definitely got depth in the draft for defense to get ready to play these loaded offenses.
And they've grabbed a couple of offensive linemen to keep Trevor Lawrence
And
up.
you can't never sleep. You can't really sleep on Jacksonville. They'll sneak up and hurt you.
I mean, you go all the way back to Mark Brunell, and you'd be like, well, they're Jacksonville, and then they make a push.
They grind, but at least with Trevor Lawrence been there recently, they have been definitely they have been formidable.
They've been okay. Trevor
Well,
Lawrence
I mean, I was beating them every year, 2 games a season, and that was so. Then now the fact that we're over here splitting, or we haven't lost the season series yet, except the time they beat us in the end of the year to go to the playoffs.
Yeah,
well, that's true.
So I mean, Jacksonville is doing their thing. They signed Trevor Lawrence to that 5-year extension for
big extension.
275 total. He got 200. He gets 200 million guaranteed, and he got 142.
You surprised it was that much?
I think honestly, what I think they're doing is trying to get ahead of the curve before he became too much.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think because they signed him at before he came to us, but he's signed at least through 2030. So
because if you give him all these weapons, and then he comes out this year and is just dealing, and then you have to try to sign him.
Yeah.
No,
and making it hard for other people that got to pay quarterbacks.
Well,
I mean, it is what it is, man. the going rate's the going rate. But
yes and no. I mean, he still hasn't really had success in the playoffs. They could have tapped.
No, I mean they could have beat Kansas City that one time when Pat was hurt, but Pat seems like when he's hurt, he doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
So I mean, I will say Jacksonville. I'm glad to see them. I'm glad to be able to see them. I'm actually more Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence in my eyes are both still on the kind of like their seats heating up.
I can see that
because. They should have did more last year.
They had a lot of pieces.
But they didn't. But I don't know if it was injuries or what, but they fumbled some games at the end.
Yeah. They regressed after that playoff.
Yeah.
You come back and have that massive comeback in the playoffs against the Chargers.
And
then just kind of
a stinker.
Stagnate.
Yeah. It was just a dud.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to do a lot more with Calvin Ridley. Well, he still had a decent season last year.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not going to forget about Etienne. Dude's a dog.
That dude is a dog.
And then your old boy who came from you, Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram really turned his career around.
Had a really big resurgence there. Was definitely a weapon to Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what they do. It's just going to be a matter. It's going to be hard fought in this division.
Yeah.
And so remember, even though we were out of it last year at the end of the year, these three teams were towards the end of the season were fighting for that playoff spot. All three of them had the same record going into the last 2 weeks.
This is a team that I think is going to come down to heart. Like, they clearly have all the skill on all sides of the ball. They have what you need weaponry-wise everywhere. It's going to come down to, can you fight through the adversities and the toughness of being in the AFC, being in now a very good division. And that's what they're going to have to get together. Can we scrape this out? Not so much of are we good enough to scrape it out?
Yeah, it's just winning those need to games when it comes down to not making those last minute mistakes.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence is going to have to go out there and be a leader.
Improve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because that's the thing with some of these quarterbacks that I don't think people always get. Like, well, he's so talented. Like, yes, but he doesn't lead the team.
Yeah.
yeah, this is like what his fourth year now. Third,
Yeah.
fourth year. His fourth year now. So like, you got it. Do it.
You've been doing it.
Yeah,
You took
so-
them to the playoffs. You passed adversity. They've given you the talent. They've given you a contract. You gotta execute now.
Yeah. So look
That's-
forward to seeing what they're
yeah.
doing. And now this team, they've always been a thorn in
Thorn.
my side. It's only because
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And then when Andrew Luck came, we never beat him while he was under that.
Really?
We never beat Andrew Luck. Ever.
Yeah.
They suck some of them years. And you still
Never
beat them?
beat him.
Okay.
So, anyway, we're talking about the Indianapolis
the Colts.
Colts.
Oh, that's right. Pat McAfee. He did it the what was it, the draft a couple of years ago when he was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
When y'all got Jeffrey Simmons. And he was like, most of the Tennessee fans probably don't know who we are because we haven't had to punt much, so you don't see me.
Thanks, Jay.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Yeah, no.
sorry, Craig.
I'm
No,
sorry.
that's
That's one of the
I'm
funniest
sorry,
moments
Craig.
in draft history.
They went their draft. They got Latu in the first
Yeah.
first
the very
round.
first. Yeah.
Solid
um,
linebacker.
and then the
They
second-
needed somebody to replace a Karake.
No, Leonard. Was
Oh
it-
crap! Yeah, they
They needed somebody to replace
They
Leonard.
lost. I forgot they lost him too.
Yeah.
Well, because they lost. I mean, that's two very.
Did Carrot come from them?
Yeah, we got him last year, mid-season.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. You're
Okay.
right.
And he came over and was our leading tackler
After
after being their leading tackler.
And
they got
they-
Adonai Mitchell.
the second round.
Yeah,
The
the
second
weapons
round.
that had to Pierce and
Pearson and Pittman.
Pittman.
But also they had a lot. Remember last year? Obviously, Anthony Richardson went down early. Then they had
Gardner came in.
They had Gardner coming, but Jonathan Taylor started the season a little gimpy. Came in.
Oh, and then there was
Yeah,
contract
yeah,
problems.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
gonna hopefully start a little faster
Yeah.
this year.
And their O line wasn't as great as they usually were.
It should have been. Yeah.
So and they also went to draft and got
I'm gonna
depth on
be
the O line.
honest. I really have no memory of them from last year. Like,
The thing about it
Was
is,
last year the massive Minnesota comeback, or was that the year before?
I think last year might have been them. No, that was with Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really-
So no, that
No,
wasn't.
I-
That wasn't with the. Yeah.
Oh,
when you were like they all had this, I'm like, really? I think I just deleted the code.
But once Anthony Richardson went down, it got a little rocky.
But no,
remember,
but-
they came back at the end. Remember, they were playing the Raiders
Yeah.
for the division at the end of the year.
I mean, and like Gardner Minshew kept them in it.
Yeah.
That's also why Gardner
don't
Minshew
know
got that
why.
contract for the Raiders.
And I watched every game. We have
Yeah.
so
So like it's crazy, but I mean, Anthony Richardson shoots definitely. They signed Joe Flacco as a backup.
Which should help if
Yes.
Richardson does go down.
Hope-
Because he plays reckless.
Yeah, but Anthony Richardson said in the offseason, like he said what the NFL is easier than college. Then he also said that he ran a 40, still ran a 4, like a 4.40.
Yeah.
It's 260. Hopefully that shoulder is ready to go. And he has to realize, man, slide. Don't always
Don't
take the
take
You don't
Don't
have to take the hit.
Just because you got the muscle and stuff on you, don't mean take the hit.
Because
Learn
game
from
one,
Cam-
it's
learn-
okay.
Learn from Cam Newton.
Game 17, you're going to start to
Yeah.
not be able to do it.
Learn from Cam.
Yeah.
Like,
And the injury started, all of a sudden, Cam's arm, which was a cannon when he started,
and that shoulder went.
started fluttering.
that was
and
the-
that-
RG never learned how to slide. That,
Carson Wentz went out there trying to put everything
and
in
that's
everything.
it. I was
and
like, he gonna get himself
he gonna get hurt, and he did.
yeah.
And
and-
watch these guys that want to try to play tough ball. Like, you're playing against monsters,
Yeah.
and you will get ate.
So,
It's really nothing more to say.
I also know Indianapolis girls, your team. I hope for you for the best, but
Well, I think theirs is the reason I made the direct with the Jags. It's more about heart because I
Mhm.
think
they have to prove
the Colts have Anthony Richardson proved he's good enough. We need him to prove he can keep himself out of harm's way.
Yeah.
That wide receiver core has showed sparks of fantastic, but it doesn't seem to be consistent.
Yeah. And we know what Jonathan Taylor is.
Yeah.
When he's
But-
I do remember. that.
Highest paid offensive line in the league. They've been fluttering the last couple of years. It hasn't looked as of what it should be.
But the
That's
injury
gonna
bug-
have to
the
exit.
injury bug actually got the division pretty bad the past couple seasons.
Very
'Cause-
true.
so-
Well, I'd say more last year than the year before. The year before, it just seemed like they just didn't know what was going on in life.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, no.
But-
So they honestly, in my personal opinion, I think you guys might be the 4th team in the division, respectfully.
And that's not, yeah, it's
And-
not
and-
really a
and-
knock.
And it's not saying it's only because you got the pieces It's just how well is it all
So
going
you
to
think
gel?
y'all gonna be good this year?
I think if anything, we'll be third. We have great pieces, but I am. Well, I'll get to us.
We'll
Trust
get
me.
there.
I'll
We'll
get
get
to
there.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
but
just
no, like
processing what you said.
like I think that because honestly,
Because I know who I think number one is. So
I know who I think number one is too.
All right.
Yeah, so like Indy, that's why I say 4 because I don't know. Like I realistically, I think me or 2 or 3. But like I said, I'll talk more on that later. But that's
we'll
why I
hit
think
up the end of
yeah,
that. We'll go over where we think
yeah.
everybody is compared
But
to each
like
other.
the best team we're getting ready to talk about.
Yeah, by far.
By far, I just think they are. Like
Houston Texans
they was very impressive.
went into the playoffs last year
They
with
had
a
nothing to
rookie
prove.
quarterback.
and went head to head with Lamar Jackson and the best team in the league at that point in time in Baltimore. And I mean, it went
And
down.
only thing that showed was inexperience in the playoffs.
And that was in the second half.
Yeah,
They seemed like Baltimore kind of was able to make more adjustments where Houston kind of seemed like they were like, this is what we got.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't got too much to report about them like for the draft because I'm not gonna say they didn't make. It wasn't anybody who made a splash.
Well, most of their draft was depth.
Yeah, they went crazy in free agency and
free
offseason.
agents.
They signed Jeff Okuda,
which is a stout corner.
Yeah, they got Danico Autry from us. They got
Amazing
Aziz
linebacker.
Al-Shar from us.
Amazing linebacker.
They got Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati.
Devin Singletary's ours now.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon is a better running back.
And Daniil Hunter from Minnesota.
Another dog in that defense that was already one of the best in the league.
And let's not forget they signed Stephon Diggs.
So now you've got 3 unstoppable wide receivers.
And you got Stephon Diggs,
Tank Dell, and Nico Collins. Along with Dalton Schultz, who is one of the better tight ends in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like it's
Jack said it tight end you. He thinks Ferguson's the best tight end in the league.
So
I like Ferguson.
It's gonna
I thought
be
that was a little biased. He's literally at a camp held by Travis Kelce, and you're gonna say Ferguson's the best, but okay.
but I think like and
busy these
it's
days.
true. And then with
George Kittle also hosts that better
It's
tight end,
fine.
but
George
you know, whatever.
Kittle didn't
Yeah.
do what he should have did. I think on some parts last year.
Mm.
Ferguson, I feel like it's only improved.
Wow.
Okay. Ooh, wow.
Hey,
I like that.
see how we sneak Dallas
And everything.
He didn't. She didn't start it.
Not start.
She did not start
She
it.
didn't.
I know.
She did.
But no. Yeah. No. But it's Houston. They are gritty. I love who's their I know the head coach's name.
D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryan. Yeah, he is.
I mean, I've loved him since he was a player. He's one of my favorite players.
So like, and he's exactly what they need. They are good. All they got the talent. They showed us last year. All they did was get better on paper.
Basically, like Jacksonville is going to be heart and execution. Indy is health. Houston is just execution.
Yeah, and they executed last year what they had.
And
we'll see how far that goes.
Afraid to call on the name Jesus, and I respect that.
That is very true.
Yeah.
What you gonna do against that? Good luck.
I don't know. Look, he's a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback.
He is. Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
That kid is.
Like, he makes every throw. Nothing is no stage has been too big for him.
He's so humble.
Yeah, and he's just ready to go out there and get it. So
that CJ Stroud hurts me when we pay Daniel Jones because I'm just like, we could have traded things and moved up, trying to get. And just not giving Daniel that contract, and we could have had CJ Stroud on a rookie.
I don't know if y'all would have been able to get the Texans off of that move though. I think they
wanted him.
They wanted him. They wanted him.
Yeah, they definitely.
And then they went out and
him.
and then 2 picks later they went out and got their DN.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so like it's just
how do you get
they got dogs everywhere. I'm worried.
You should be.
Yeah, I am very worried.
You should be very worried about this team.
Yeah, so like I play them twice. It's not going to be easy. But I mean, kudos to the Texans. Like you guys have been horrible for so long. Even when they had Deshaun and there was hope, and they got to the playoffs and things like that.
There was so much dysfunction behind the scenes you heard about that you were like, "No, they're not going to be able to pull."
And it's just like, I mean, I remember when they had David Carr, I was never worried about it. The only person I worried about was Andre Johnson.
Oh God,
And then when they got JJ, it was like, damn, they're a little bit hard on defense.
And then D Hop.
Yeah. Then D Hop was like, okay, we got to just stop one person.
And they always look kind of like
they're always competitive, but a lot of people. You know what? I never forget their running back. You know who? I forget the running back. Arian Foster. That boy was a dog.
He was phenomenal.
He was great. Career ended too early, neck injury. But hey,
the problem with running backs. That's what some of these guys why is the running back?
Even when you stay healthy,
dude, you know how many
they don't want to pay you.
But you go through the last 5 years, and it's
I'm
a rotating
It's
door.
so many of them. They
The
use
amount of
them,
guys
and they
that come in
use
have
them, and
one
they
or
use
two
them.
good seasons and then just fall off.
The only reason they fall off is because they use them all up.
You're a running back. That's what your job is.
Okay, you don't want to pay me though. What's what I'm saying?
Because now
I'm
you're
sorry.
used up.
I don't like one-sided loyalty. I have a problem with that.
Hey, I understand.
I have a problem with that.
But
because then you got guys out here who don't even do what they
I don't
supposed to
know.
do, and
Usually,
they get paid.
like I don't get like in fantasy football. I usually don't draft heavy for my team, but I don't mind picking from some of these teams in this division this year because they got some people.
Well, I pick people for my team, so I don't have to root against them later.
Yeah, see,
That's
when I pick people for my team, they get hurt, or they get, or something happens, and I can't use them.
Because I have sometimes
Now,
they sit
I've
on
learned my
who
lesson.
it is. They might be on
That
the
year
bench.
you drafted Saquon, he went on. You was like, "What in the world am I
Yeah.
gonna do?"
But it's very
Yeah,
difficult.
so like
I don't take that risk. Like I said, I don't
I
take.
pick up my defense.
Jay doesn't even do that no
because
more.
I'm not
Jay's like,
rooting
nah.
against my defense, and my defense
You
been
got
looking
lucky.
out. Yeah, Dallas defense been looking out. But I don't want to root. How
I
you
might
root
take
against?
our
The root
defense
against
this
my
year.
defense is the root against the team. Like that's the whole side of the ball. Like I can't.
Yeah.
So, and even if I don't play them, they might sit on my bench, but I don't have to. I know they right here safely, and I don't have to worry about that.
They sitting at home with me. That's
well,
all. Yeah.
You know, it's like when I played against Zeke that 1 year, it's like. It's emotional. It do stuff. I always get that. I get him out the way. Like no, I'm not even. And like,
and then he doesn't play
I
well.
had, y'all get Rodgers? No. Who got?
No,
you got Rodgers and he got.
I had Rodgers in my other season in my other league, and that was.
I had Rodgers
I was
before.
so excited having Aaron Rodgers with that Jets team. I was like, dude, I'm gonna be putting up millions. He had a horrible Green
I
Bay
had like
team.
Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson made some plays, but it was hard.
Quarterback because he did nothing. I ended up playing that like the whole.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But anyway, we still have one team left,
and it's the team I became.
We don't need
and
to
it's.
talk about them though.
Well, I always try to respect her team. See how she
It's
does it?
one of the most underrated teams in the league, probably.
My Tennessee Titans. I am happy for this season. I was a little perturbed with last season. We no more. Vrabel's gone.
Derrick Henry's gone.
Derrick Henry is now a Raven.
I don't know how that
Tannehill's
happened.
going.
Goodbye, Tannehill. Yippee-ki-yay.
Tannehill, you can live without me.
Hey, either way,
he used to give me garbage.
It's the Callahan
Jeffrey
and
Simmons
Levis
seems
and
pretty
Levis.
confident in that offense.
Yeah. I was
without Derrick, like specifically.
Yeah. So, I watched the Jeffrey Simmons interview on Rich Eisen show. That was very good. Definitely happy with our first round pick in J.C. Latham. You could not. I was even ecstatic. You guys heard on my draft recap. Second round. Tavondre Sweat.
I was
that is so much beef on the inside of that line.
I was trying to mentally Dallas
when he came through, I called him before they could even finish saying his
name. We called him.
Yeah. Yeah, before they finished saying his name, his phone was ringing.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
oh boy,
he is an
animal.
Mm-hmm.
He is an animal. Okay.
And we went in the draft.
Carnivore,
we got linebackers.
Yeah.
We filled up the spots we needed to in this draft with really good pieces who are going to be able to go out and play and make plays for us.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't even do bad in free agency. We got L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley, Awuzie, Tony Pollard, and Lloyd Cushenberry. And Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
So
Awuzie and L'Jarius Sneed, I mean, that just gave you a stout 1-2 corners.
Yeah.
And then Tavondre Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons in the middle. You got a Cedric Gray in the middle of linebacker. Jalen Harrell, which is a good edge rusher for Michigan. With that much pressure coming up in the middle, your edge rushers are going to be walking.
And I don't think one of them's not going to start because Harold Rander's still going to be in starting. But even rotating, like having that to be able to come in and out and go.
No one's tired.
New York's best defenses, we had multiple guys we were rotating pass rushing, and so even fourth quarter, you have fresh guys.
No one's tired.
And that you got yourself in that position.
And all pieces and that's defense. Our defense has always been bend don't break. We've always had a decent defense. But now I actually because we don't have Derrick Henry,
dominant.
Derrick Henry not run first. This is the first time I can say in my long time. But since we had Derek Mason and Frank Wycheck, even we had Eddie George, we were still using. But they're still Eddie George. But we had those two. It's I'm talking about I can't remember when we were going to be past
Period. And I can't think of anything.
Yeah, like so with Will
Mettenberger?
Levis, D Hop, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, and even Conquo as our tight end. And then with coming out of the backfield who both can catch and run,
Yeah.
Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thoroughly excited to see what this offense does. I can't wait to play with them in Madden.
That could be exciting.
That's gonna be fun. And I'm hoping that Will Levis takes the next step. And we even have Mason Rudolph as our backup, with Malik Willis and him competing for number 2. But I think Mason Rudolph for some reason will win that. And we saw what he could do when he comes in. He's a capable backup. I think overall Tennessee Titans have. I can say I have a lot of hope for the season, but I'm also not gonna be like upset if it doesn't go. If
This year
doesn't go this year,
You didn't like because you were giving them like at least.
I have to.
The first year,
new head coach. My
they
quarterback
got used to each other.
My quarterback's his second year. He's learning a new playbook, new offense, and the whole regime inside
They
this
need
changed.
chemistry together.
So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, definitely. Hopefully the OTAs. Like I didn't watch too much to see what we did, but I heard some good things coming out of it. Everybody showed, even the veterans. Training camp. I can't wait to get eyes on that and see what's going on.
That's why I'm like, I am so ready for this year to start.
We're down to like 70, 74, 73 days till football comes back.
Yep.
So it's definitely.
And I'm here, like Traylon Burks is getting talked about a lot of people on your team.
Everyone
like, they seem to like stop forgetting about him. He's had injuries. He's that guy. Y'all are gonna see.
And I did forget him too, but like he has great veteran leadership to be able to pull from
and realize oh, so this is how I need to play.
And so hopefully they put him out on special teams, maybe like a returner, get him to still have the ball in his hands, and then bring him in on different packages.
If I were y'all, I might look at Pollard kick returner with how the new kickoff is. You need somebody that can make people miss, because if you can make that first guy miss, you can run the kickback.
Honestly, our kickoff return, I don't know, man. It could be an array of people. I got to see who it is. We do got some people who can.
Well, I mean, the whole league is changing up who's returning and who's kicking and
because of the new kickoff.
Kansas City's got that corner that took over when their kicker got hurt.
Yeah,
he's doing their kickoffs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Justin Reed.
Okay.
He's doing their kickoffs because they want their kicker to be able to tackle.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Hey, I think overall though, Tennessee, I'm not gonna be upset if you let me down, but I will hurt a little bit. But I'm very excited, and I'm overall like my division is not gonna be
a walkthrough.
No, most times like we've all had our years where we've been just a breeze. Like Texans were a breeze for a long time. Jacksonville had its down years. The Colts had their down years. Shoot, we've definitely had our down years. Don't remind me about. Everybody knows Texas Titans fans the Jay Clocker years we don't talk about.
Mettenberger.
I remember y'all Bishop Sankey. Yeah, remember those names, But I think overall, I'm fine with the 9-8.
Well, I think we know from our division, there's a difference between missing the playoffs, not going as far in the playoffs, not winning because people are good and you're fighting and we lost, and like
then you get there and
y'all suck. Y'all suck.
I'd rather not get in the playoffs and get blown in the first game.
I'd rather not go.
Yeah, they get blown in the first game.
The painful defeat of them not even showing up. Like, oh, we got a game today. I can't deal with that anymore. I think that's where I am. Where you play really hard to get there, and then
I don't know what that.
I don't really know what that feels like, because if you make the playoffs, we win.
You lost playoff game.
Well, but it's not like.
But like usually we don't get like if I get blown out. It's usually like, oh, you got blown out. It's championship. You got blown out like in the divisional.
Like there was a yacht game.
Oh, we lost the
first round.
Bad. Look, that one year when we looked good with Vince Young and Chris Johnson, and the Ravens came in and just freaking demolished us. I was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The Ravens almost broke Vince Young and almost snapped Chris Johnson in half. I was just like, oh, that was a rough year.
Like everyone...
No, was that Chris Johnson? No, was that? No, I think that was the Kerry Collins year. That's the year Kerry Collins took us pretty. We had the best.
That was after he left with us.
Sometime wherever he came from.
Yeah, because I think it was the first time they had played. He had played Baltimore since the Super Bowl.
So like it was
breaks off of y'all.
Yeah. So like it's been.
Because I remember clowning because I'm like, see, you stupid. Because he played with us. He's the quarterback for us when we got blown out in the Super Bowl. So it's like Kerry Collins is just garbage.
Yeah,
He said he was a criminal.
He was stealing all these poor people's money just to watch the Ravens kick your ass regularly.
Yeah, no.
But like Dallas don't do well against the Ravens, so
we gotta play that whole division. We don't do good in the whole division.
We don't. Like, we got Pittsburgh every once in a while. Like,
do you know how happy y'all were when y'all won that '95 Super Bowl because y'all finally beat them?
In a Super Bowl, they have their moments regular season. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like regular season. Okay,
they do, but you know.
In the Super Bowl, it was getting,
that mattered because they lost another one that had been they would never beat them.
Yeah. So okay,
at least they got one on them.
Bring up something old though. Like, you gotta go back to the past. Like,
hey,
you know,
that's lore.
But
that's history.
But I'm saying like, cause like I had as a Raven fan that was just being mean because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm like, we don't do well against you. Like, what do you? There's no
like
need.
what joy do you get?
What joy do you get to picking on me when you beat us?
And I'm telling you, like, we can't seem to beat y'all.
Like Romo never beat them. Like, like so. Yeah. So I'm just, but I don't know. We're getting closer and closer, and I'm thinking, I have high hopes for this year, and I'm hoping that we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think Houston's gonna be number one. I'm gonna give.
You don't know what Jacksonville.
I flipped between Jacksonville and Tennessee, 2 or 3. I think Indy just has to, like you always say, show me the baby,
and solidify.
Yeah, because the Colts right now, like I feel like also Jim Irsay is just like even though he's not really because his daughters usually are kind of running the show right now. But
I had the news the couple of times I've seen he's been like they've had major events and the daughters were doing it and like sometimes you're like oh well and the last couple I want to say they were like no he's in the hospital so we're taking care of this and I'm like
well I mean even so I know he's tired of losing.
Yeah.
I know
he's not doing real great. Which, like I said, I had heard some. Yeah.
Yes.
I think this is universal at this point. It's the same damn team. That
Kansas City's the only damn team that's sitting here like.
So I think we're all.
I mean, even San Francisco, like y'all go to the Super Bowl almost every year. Yeah, and we lose.
Like, I think we're all.
Everybody's tired of losing when they lose.
I gotta pray we don't see Green Bay in the playoffs. Because apparently we don't beat them.
I gotta pray we make it to the playoffs.
I just gotta hope they got a division. Like this is gonna be a tough season, really a tough season because we got a lot of young pieces.
Yeah,
and to get them all to solidify and click at the right time is not always.
A lot of your young pieces have something star and veteran in their position group that should be able to help them.
That's very true. My O line's very young though. Besides Lloyd Cushenberry, because we got Skronsky's the second year. We got J.C. Latham's going to start. This should be a rookie.
Yeah.
Who's my tackle? I think it's Nicholas. He's been there for a while. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting. Look, man. One thing that's been plaguing us is my O line.
Yeah, we have
not given.
He knows what that's like.
Yeah, we have not. Yeah, we have not given. You don't. You always have good O lines.
I said he knows.
Yeah, yes, but I'm saying like so.
There are problems at the quarterback position.
Yeah. So and it's never like not having any time, like no time, and then obviously Derek can run, but if you ain't got no holes, what you gonna do?
Yeah,
what you gonna do? So
unfortunately, we're gonna know all about Derek this.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see what 22 looks like in purple and black.
I really want it. I wanted
Can't say Baltimore.
Black and purple.
So. Black and I wanted them to have.
Or as Jeffrey said, that purple tutu.
Yeah, just kidding. Yeah,
but I can't wait for week 1. We play painting nails.
You keep playing with him. Chicago gonna beat the.
No, that's what he said. Richard Eisen was like, so week 1 you play Chicago and Jeffrey Simmons went, oh, it painted nails. Yeah, I'm waiting for him.
Yeah. It's not gonna be as nice as that, but yeah.
He's like, I ain't gonna. It's not gonna be as clean as how we just said it. He was like, so you're just gonna painted nails to Caleb Williams immediately? He's like, oh, it ain't gonna be that clean. But yeah. Like I'm coming off an injury. Everybody thinks they're gonna smash us anyway, so it's a first show back. Oh yeah, I'm coming, and it's gonna be a lot. I was like,
ready.
We were both kind of like, oh, that team might be in trouble.
I am so ready for football.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be interesting.
We are one division away from being done our just
draft
general overview of draft and free agency and By the time that finishes, we should be getting close to when minicamp and OTAs and them start.
The training camp should
Training
be
camp,
training camp because OTA's already happened.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Training
Yeah.
camp and
Yeah,
Mhm.
I knew
preseason
I
and
knew
stuff.
that's what
You
you meant.
did.
I
Oh,
did.
you
Mhm.
said.
So we're gonna be seeing, and hopefully you'll see, and then also be on the lookout for other updates.
Little
Hey.
individual things in betweens.
Yeah. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
Hit us up on Instagram and Twitter.
Tell us what you hear.
I'll let you next time. Peace.